Saints for their third straight win. Meanwhile, Josh Allen and the Bills struggled on Monday night in their loss to the Falcons. The results allowed the Patriots to move to the top of the standings in the AFC East, but ESPN Sportsbook still has the Bills as the favorites to win the division. Let's get right to it. Mina, we'll start with you. Are you more confident in the Bills or the Patriots winning the AFC East?
It's really close. I want to start by saying that. I still lean Buffalo as much as I am deeply worried about that Bills defense, and they have some serious problems. They are very injured on that side of the ball. And offensively, I think they'll figure it out. This is a dominant rushing attack. Everything is based around that with, of course, one of the best quarterbacks in football. New England, I love what they're building. I think they're an ascendant team. The quarterback is playing fantastic. But there are still some issues with that roster, not in love with the skill players. I think defensively you can get them in the passing game. So I'm going to stick with Josh Allen here, mostly because of my confidence in him and this offense bouncing back. I do, however, think this defense has some serious issues.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm just going with Buffalo. Number one, Buffalo has 30 penalties in their last 3 games. Very uncharacteristic about themselves as a Sean McDermott football team. Got to get it cleaned up. There's no question about it, but that's uncharacteristic. I'm banking on that getting done. 7 giveaways. This is a team who was the best team in the NFL when it came to giving the ball away last year. That's been uncharacteristic. I think they've gotten cute at times as well. I agree with Mina. I was there calling that game Monday night. 8 starters were out in that game. So, yes, they have to play better, but 2 defensive tackles, 2 linebackers, they haven't gotten a single snap from their first-round pick. They've gotten a handful of snaps from their second-round pick. Both those players should get healthy and help this defense. They're also the team in Buffalo that I think should be somewhat active at the trade window in the next 2 weeks, and specifically at safety. I think they got to get better at safety. So I agree their defense has to play better. I think they will. New England feels like a team that's trending towards the playoffs. Buffalo still feels like, when it's healthy, one of the best teams in the conference.
Yeah, but do you think they're going to get healthy?
Oh, yeah, I think they'll get healthy. I just said their first and second round pick have barely played. Those guys should be coming, and it's a bye week. They should be coming after the bye week.
RC?
Yeah, you know what? This one was difficult for me because I believe so much in Josh Allen and in Sean McDermott. And in watching the New England Patriots, I'm going with them. I think Drake May is a star. I think Drake May has made the biggest jump of any first year or any second year quarterback. I believe that this offense, when you look at Douglas and Booty and also the way Stephon Diggs has come along, this offense has found ways to create explosive plays, and a lot of that lies in the arm of their quarterback. When we came into this season, it was about what Ramondre Stevenson and this run game could be. And now it's all about what Drake May can do, what he can create. And let's not forget, as we talk about the Buffalo Bills and their turnover problems, this team is turnovers away against the Pittsburgh Steelers from being 5-1. And also going into Buffalo and winning that game, whether we talk about their 3 turnovers or not. I love what they've done defensively. They're also missing some pieces, especially on the back end right now. But I think down the stretch, when you look at the schedule, still 2 games against the Jets. They get the Giants. They get the Bengals. I believe they are the team that has the better route to winning the AFC East.
RC finished right on time for us to go to break.
Tua's comments were misguided. Here was Tua then yesterday.
I've made a mistake, and I'm owning up to that right now. I've talked to guys on the team about it, talked to the leaders about it. I felt like I let the emotions of the game get to me after the game, and that's something that I can learn from as a leader on this team. And what happens in-house should be protected, and none of that should have gotten out. And so I want to publicly apologize about that. I want to move forward.
All right, so it's a good apology. I mean, it seems sincere, and yet a lot of damage done for a team that seems to have a great deal of dysfunction. As you watch all this unfold in front of us, Hawk, what are you thinking?
Yeah, my question for Tua, and even with the apology, but how do we get here in the first place, right? That's not what you say after the game that Tua had. And then on top of that, Tua is no longer a young player that is being ruined by the organization, which is typically the narrative we put for young players who haven't fully developed. This is him pointing to a culture there that he's uncomfortable with, that he says this is more the issue and why we're losing. But I would say to Tua, this is now 2 cultures in a row that you've said that about. As an NFL player, at some point, you got to put the onus on yourself and say, hey, no matter what situation I'm in, I'm a leader of a franchise, I'm the face of a franchise, I'm going to take my responsibility in turning this tide, and he hasn't done that.
And we brought this up earlier, and you mentioned it as well. I mean, this is sort of where things start to go when everyone has a sense that the end is near for the coach and everybody else.
That's what Taylor Lewan tells me. Taylor, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. Thoughts that you came up with.
And our experience as a whole, anyone who's gone through coaching changes, this is the domino effect. People know that there's going to be a regime change, and so people start to point fingers because they know they're not just playing for the coach in front of them, they're playing for the next coach that's going to be in front of them the next year.
So that brings me then to what I think is an interesting question. Look, I'm not here to fire Mike McDaniel, but it certainly feels like that's the direction this is going. Whatever it is that when they are renewed next year, when whoever the coach is and whatever else is Tua still the quarterback? Are you building whatever it is they're building next? Are they building it around him?
Well, one, financially, you have to. I mean, there's that reality, and we know that in that league. But with the way that Tua has played this year and the way that, to Hawk's point, maybe hasn't handled the adversity of this season the way you want to, I think it's fair to bring up the question of, is he the unquestionable guy at that position in the future?
That's the question.
And we all know this as well. And I love him, but he is a very scheme-centric quarterback. It has to be a very specific scheme for Tua to thrive in. If he's in it, he plays at an incredibly high level. That does shrink who the head coach and the leader of the offense could potentially be if it gets to that point.
I mean, the scheme has been Mike McDaniel. So if I'm a new coach, I'm not going to hang my hat on Tua Tagovailoa. Even if we have to keep him contractually, I'm 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Yeah, and we've seen new coaches do that.
And too, with the new staff, the way that the Dolphins are trending, they will be positioned for a high pick in the draft.
There you go.
So you have the new coach. It's like, yeah, he'll be on the roster for cap purposes and everything else, but I'm sure they will be looking at the future.
The only way this situation gets better is if they win. That's the only way. And I don't care what apology, press conference, we all know what the NFL is like. The reality is this isn't just going to be a fire the head coach, let's get it right in Miami situation. This is a roster that's just devoid of high-end talent. Tyreek's hurt. What's he going to look like next year? If they keep losing, does Jalen Waddle become a trade piece? This is an offensive line that has not performed even though they've invested high picks into it. This is a defense that is very much so devoid of talent. So it's not going to be like fire Mike McDaniel, hire a coach, all of a sudden this is going to be a winning football team on a consistent basis. They got to build up the talent.
And I just go back to finish it up with the same question again. Whatever it is, if it was up to you, if you're the person making the decisions there, are you saying we bring in new people and we build around Tua as our quarterback?
I think I'm going to find the best coach for that job, and if I'm choosing them as my head coach, I'm going to go off of their opinion. And if they think Tua Tagovailoa is the guy for the job, then that's the way we're going to go. As an owner, you put people in positions of power to have success on the field. You're the owner of the team, not the coach.
Now, Dan makes a really interesting point there. I think that's right, and that's what successful franchises do. But you make an interesting point. If you